Okay, I'm out here in the dark in the backyard. I'm using the star shower projector, projecting on the back of my house. It's not the best place to do it because there are still some lightings coming from inside the house, and it's not picking up very well. I can see it in real life, but through the camera, it doesn't look spectacular. But it's definitely it's not boring. So I'm gonna go to change it to red and green. Okay, it's not showing very well, but you can see it. The red is not as bright as the green. It's rotating right now. It covers pretty much the entire house and a little bit, just a little bit on the ground. Now this is red and green without rotation. Now this is just green. So that's pretty much. Okay, now go try the 1x1. The projecting area definitely is larger. It goes to the side of the fence, but it's still, I'm not sure if it's brighter. I think the reason it's more visible for this on this wall because there are more red dots. There are definitely less red dots on the star shower. The problem is I can't control the projector from here. The remote doesn't work from behind the projector, so I have to keep going back to the front. So here I am, I'm going. I was definitely struggling with it. So this is constant red and green together. Okay. It won't change for me. Now it's flashing red. Can't really see anything. Wow, this is really dim. This is the brightest red. This is brightest green. The green definitely looks better in this mode. So now I'm going to cycle all red, green, red and green alternate and red and green together. Okay, let's see. No, this is just red and green together. Okay, I'm fed up with this remote. That's ridiculous. Now they're cycling through all the red and green and alternate red and green and red together. Okay, red, green, red, green, alternate, Then red and green together. I don't know. It really doesn't show much. Okay. So I'm working closer to the house. I definitely can see it. Through the lens though, not so much, especially when it's flashing red. Green is a little bit better. Okay. Then red and green. Also better than just red. This is the favorite part of my star shower. I projected on the trees. But you can see it looks like they're moving. Okay, so I'm gonna switch to the 1x1. Okay, this is the 1x1. It's cycling the red and green and red and green. It's green now. I can hardly see anything here. The red is not really showing on the camera. Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can flash it. The thing is I have to keep walking back to the projector and my hands are frozen at the moment. Okay, it took me about an entire minute to get the remote to work. I'm standing right in front of the projector, so the remote is pretty useless. And now it's flashing. No, definitely is not as good as the star shower. Okay, I'm getting very cold and my fingers completely numb. Let's look at the star shower one last time. Okay, here's the star shower. I definitely can see a lot better. Here I am back inside my house. It's getting it was very cold out there. I was out there for too long and my hands were frozen. Now finally I warmed up my hands and I can finish the comparison of these two projectors. Okay, once again, this is the 1x1. This is the star shower motion, and you have really seen how they performed outside. I know they didn't look very good. I wouldn't call them brilliant, but I think they are good enough for the money you pay for. If I have to choose one, I already have my preference, but I'm not going to tell you which one to choose because it really depends on what you need and what you know, where you're going to put it and how you're going to use it and all that other stuff, right? I'm going to tell you what I think about them. Now, first of all, appearance-wise, and you see the star shower is much bigger than the 1x1. But then, again, the 1x1 is actually mostly metal, and this is mostly plastic. It has the longest spike. The 1x1 looks so much smaller than the star shower, but actually it weighs about 200 grams heavier than the star shower, simply because this is metal and this is plastic. But this one is much bigger, but it's plastic. Now, another good thing about the 1x1 has the long power cord. I would say about maybe 10, 11 feet long. And for the star shower, there's really not much length there. This is pretty much all you get. This is it. Okay. Physically, I would say the 1x1 has a better build simply because of the material and with the longer cord. The problem with the 1x1 is that you have to use the remote control. Okay, because there is nothing on the unit you can control, turn it on and off, or change different modes. And if you want to do anything, if you even want it to work, I mean, the only problem I have with the 1x1 is the remote is extremely unreliable. Now, I already put a new battery in there because when I first tried it and it was not very responsive, I thought maybe the battery is old. So I replaced the battery, and even after new battery, it's still not very reliable. You will have to control, you have to use the remote very close to the unit. The box says you could actually control the unit using the remote 30 feet away from it. but I don't find it's true. After replacing the battery and I used a remote control indoor, I would say about 3 feet away from it, and with the projection facing up. I had a few hiccups, but I would say 80%, 85% of the time it was responsive. But once I took it outside, it was a completely different story. Now I'm not sure if it's because it was cold outside, or my fingers are cold, or I don't know if it was humid. It's definitely, I would say at that point, once I took it outside, I would say about 85–90% of the time didn't work. So now that became very frustrating, because that's the whole purpose of using a remote control, right? Especially when there's nothing you can do to turn it on and off or change mode on the unit itself. So you're completely relying on this. So when this is not reliable, this can be a real headache. When you try to control the unit with the remote control, if you go behind the unit, it's almost, I would say 90% of the time that unresponsive. You have to go in front of it, and it has to be very close to it, and sometimes even very close to it in front of it still didn't respond. So it was quite a headache for me. If you are putting that not too far away from your house and it's not too cold over in your area, and you have it set preset, you set it in the mode you want, if there will be any flashing and the brightness and other stuff. Once you have it all set up in your house and take it outside, all you have to do is just kind of stick it down the ground and turn it on. And if that's all you have to do, the remote may not be a big deal. Or you can set up with an outdoor timer, and so the timer will turn it on and off for you. Personally, the star shower works better for me. Even though this is plastic, it doesn't look as professional as this one. And then there's no remote control for it. But there's only a few buttons on the top, but the buttons is, I would say, highly responsive. I would say 95% of the time it works. And then it also has a very big spike, because we have a lot of snow in the wintertime, so I need something quite tall. This one I definitely will return, because it doesn't work for my situation, and this one works for me better. So the only thing I don't like about the star shower is the power cord is like ridiculously short. I had to use 2 outdoor extension cords to get this going, but once everything is set up, and it worked for me very well. Both of them projected on a house with a white wall, dark environment. They both work very nicely. But then on the trees, the star shower actually definitely works better than the 1x1. They're not perfect. Far from it. You know, which one is better, it really depends on what you want to do with them. So for me, the star shower is a keeper. This one is going to go back. So this is it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I will see you next time.